It doesn't matter whether it's business, personal finance, sports, a hobby, or anything else that you're working on. Sooner or later, you're going to get tired and sick of it. AKA, you're going to get in a rut. This simply means that you'll feel like you can't really get out of a situation. You stop making progress, and for some reason, you can't find a way out. The thing with life is that there will always be barriers and difficulties. It's like trying to plan a road trip with two of your mates. Somehow, you know something will go wrong. Let me tell you a quick story. Michael and Gabriel are two of my closest friends. A few years ago, we planned to go on a camping road trip. We estimated that it will take us about 6 hours if we stopped only twice to take a break. On our way to the camp, after a few hours on the road, Michael felt sick and started throwing up, so we stopped and parked the car by the side of the road until he started feeling better. A little over half an hour later, he felt much better, so we carried on with our trip. However, this wasn't our last problem. With about an hour and a half to the camping site, the car for some reason started slowing down. Turns out Gabriel, the designated driver, seriously underestimated the amount of gas we needed for our trip. So, we ran out of gas a few miles to our campsite, and the nearest gas station was about 3 miles away. We walked to the gas station and back, pissed off and totally frustrated at Gabriel. "How in the world did you forget to fuel the car?" we kept shouting at him. Anyways, after a few heated exchanges, we got over it, fueled the car, and continued with our journey. But it took us an extra 2.5 hours. This short story is just a simple example of how every journey in life goes. Somehow, no matter how meticulously or carefully you plan, something will go wrong. Except, of course, for cases that are more unique than rare. You will always find barriers, difficulties, and problems. Tony Robbins said, "The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is the ability to overcome all those problems that come along the way." So it's perfectly normal to sometimes feel stuck, but the point is, don't stop. Despite all the challenges that come along the way, do what you must until you reach your final destination. In this video, I'm going to give you the resources you need to actually overcome challenges, no matter how stuck you might feel. If you apply this advice, you will find a way out. So, to help us get a better picture of what being in a rut entails, I want to give you 3 examples of being stuck in a rut, so that you can better relate and understand the kind of situation that you can get out of. The hobby rut. Jane is in her 30s, and recently she started working on a long-forgotten hobby, painting. She started painting again just a few weeks ago, and she's part of a painting club, which she formed with a group of interested people she found online. They hang out together every weekend. They drink, laugh, and discuss art. Sometimes they might even paint together and have little events. This week, they're all working on a particular subject, the human body. Each member has to develop their own painting by the end of the week and present it to the club. But Jane is feeling like she can't come up with a good idea for her painting. The proportions she created aren't right. The hands are just too hard to recreate, and the hair she drew is a mess. She feels like she can't get it right. After a lot of misses, she feels like quitting and dropping out of the event. This is your hobby rut. The business rut. Let's say you're a business owner, or you're creating your first business. Maybe you're even just writing your first business plan or developing the idea. Maybe you're just a few months into it and everything has been going just as planned. Let's say the idea you're working on is a business that sells handmade clothes for men. So you start building your own team with a salesperson, an artisan, and a money manager. But along the way, you encounter your first barrier. You need to find a location to set up your business in your town, and it seems like none of the available options are within your budget. What do? This is your business rut. The financial rut. In this last example, let's say you're a family man, and you and your wife would like to move to a different part of the city. It's a better neighborhood, a better community, and has better schools for your kids. However, it's a little pricey, but you and your wife want to take the leap of faith and buy a home there. After a few weeks of searching, you spot a few good houses you'd like to buy, but finally, you narrow your options to 2 houses. One costs just over $380,000, and another that costs $430,000. They're both nice homes, with a garden, a little garage, and everything you would expect from a regular house in a decent neighborhood at that price. Now all you need to do is get a mortgage from your local bank, and the house is yours. However, here's where the problem starts occurring. Your credit score is not exactly in its best shape, nor are you feeling too confident about the bank giving you all that money. You are so discouraged by this that you don't even try to go and ask for the money. So what do you do? This is your financial rut. How to get out of a rut. Now, a rut might be an obstacle or something that you don't really understand, or maybe it could even be something that you are not sure of, but it's holding you back. In order to get out of a rut, you have to first identify what's causing it, and only then can you start trying to figure out a way to solve it. So let's look at the first step. Step number 1. Recognize the signs and diagnose the problem. Signs that you're in a rut may include any of the following. You feel unmotivated, and you don't really want to get out of bed in the morning. You're procrastinating a lot. You don't want to get started, and you continuously make excuses as to why you're not making any progress. You just can't get started, even when you know that you're supposed to. Every day seems the same. You don't know how to make progress, and it's like you're living a life that you can't escape. It's all boring, predictable, and you lack a sense of adventure or excitement. You want more, but you don't want to work for it. The reason might be fear or discomfort. I'm sure you've heard about the comfort zone, and here's the big problem. The longer you stay in your comfort zone, the harder it'll be to get out of it. If it's because of fear, well, here's the truth. Fear is nothing more than a lie. It's a theory, a movie you play in your mind over and over again as to why you're not making progress. Now, being stuck in any situation for long periods of time is very unhealthy. The most important tool for making progress and getting unstuck is willpower. Willpower gives you the strength to do what you don't want to do when you have to sacrifice short-term satisfaction for long-term success. This, in turn, builds self-discipline. Every successful person knows about the importance of willpower. And here's the good news. It is a skill, meaning you can learn and develop it. And with sufficient practice, you can master self-control. But here's the thing. If you don't consistently practice it, 1, you'll never develop it, and 2, you might lose it. The reason is that if you don't do something, but you know that you should, you strengthen your procrastination muscle. Your brain starts to get used to you saying, I know I'm supposed to do this, but I don't want to, so I won't. Every time you have a new task to get done, your subconscious is like, don't even bother, I know you won't do it. So the faster you solve this problem, the better. In this first step, you also need to recognize the source of your problem. What's the reason why you're feeling stuck? Is it something related to your finance, your hobby, your business, or is it something else? Figure that out and then move on to the next step. Step number 2. Start small and regain momentum. You can't expect to give yourself a big, important task right away and then actually do it. This is like giving someone a whole burger and telling them to eat it all with one bite. It simply won't happen. You have to start small in order to gain momentum. And here's the key word, momentum. Momentum is what keeps you going. It's kind of like the domino effect. As soon as you have it, it's very hard to stop it. It's like you're in the zone all day, every day, and you don't want or even need to take breaks, nor will you be tempted to check your phone because you're in flow. Imagine this situation. Let's suppose that you're in a car cruising at 200 miles an hour, but then you stop because there's a red light. You wait and then you start again from 0, but it'll take you a very long time to get back to 200. That's the same in life. Once you stop your momentum, you have to start all over again and build that productivity. The fastest way to build your momentum is to start with small tasks. Don't wait for the right moment or for the planets to align in order to start, because that will never happen. Just do it now. Even if you're not feeling like it, just do it. Do it. Just do it. Do it. Just do it. Small tasks you can start doing to build momentum include drinking a certain amount of water every day, making your bed first thing in the morning, every morning, making small promises, like at 5 p.m. I'll reply to your message, and actually sticking to them, and so on are just a few simple examples. After 5 to 7 days of gradually increasing the number of tasks and commitments, you can then proceed to the next step. Step number 3. Dramatically change your routine. When you are ready, after 5 to 7 days, it's time to start applying some hardcore change and become really productive really fast. In step number 3, you have to start planning all of your days the night before. Make a plan, wake up at the same time every morning, and change your environment to constantly remind yourself that you are going through important changes in your life. Always prepare your warm robe the night before and keep your room clean so that you wake up to a clean room and not a mess that you don't want to deal with first thing in the morning. Practice makes perfect, and do your best to not miss a day. Take care of yourself, go outdoors, socialize with people that really matter, and limit the time you spend on your phone. If you struggle with putting your phone down, there are plenty of good apps that you can use to limit the amount of time you spend on social media, or apps that take away your precious time, so check them out. After you've mastered this step, proceed to step number 4. Step number 4. Find your ikigai. Ikigai is a Japanese concept, and it means a reason for being. You have to find your purpose, give yourself a mission and decent reason to wake up in the morning. To do that thing that excites you the most, first thing in the morning, and this will boost your mood during the whole day. This will also help you actually wake up and not click the snooze button. You have to look forward to your days, and this is the best way to do it. So in conclusion, if you feel stuck in life, just follow these 4 steps and you're guaranteed to find your momentum. You'll also move forward and closer to your goals, and you'll find fulfillment too. If you found this video helpful and/or entertaining, please share it with your friends. This might really change their mood and their quality of life. Also, comment down below. What topics should we cover next? We actually read all the comments, so we might just make a video with your idea in the not-so-distant future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.